I'm actually going to sit down because I don't want to be towering over him. So I would like to introduce to the stage, please welcome Mitch Pileggi, David Duchovny, and Chris Carter. All right. Someone please take a picture of the screen. I'll pay you thousands of dollars. David and Mitch, you guys hadn't seen the episode before. What'd you think?
First time.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I thought it was great.
I did. I'm a little in shock. I thought it was not that I didn't expect it to be fantastic, but it was just. I think it looked really great. I think this guy right here did an amazing job, Chris Carter.
Yeah. So I mean, I have 300 questions, and we have about 20 minutes, so it might be tough. But Chris, congratulations. The show is awesome.
Thank you.
That episode's fantastic. You've seen it hundreds of times.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. And how was it watching with these guys?
It makes me very nervous. I just wonder if everyone's, how they're reacting to it, how they're enjoying it, and.
I think they're into it.
I hope.
So I wanted to ask you, why?
Mitch kept asking me questions about what was going on.
What's happening there?
Yeah,
why are they doing that?
Wait a minute. So what does that mean? And
Yeah, Mitch was like,
Wait a minute.
aliens?
You mean
Yeah.
Scully still loves you? You still love Scully?
that kind of a thing.
Okay, let's get over it.
So I didn't really get to
guys
see
were
much
sorry.
of it.
Yeah, it's, I think they still love each other, but in a way that, I think Mulder wants something different.
From Skinner?
I think that's the great unrequited romance of the show. So Chris, what was it about the X-Files, what was it about right now that you were like, this is the right time to bring the X-Files back?
I got this call that from 20th Century Fox. They said David was interested in doing the show. So I said, if David's interested, I am too.
This is how I imagine, every Monday morning you get a call, and on the phone it says, President of Fox, and you hit ignore. And then one day, 6 months ago, you just answered and said, yes, and then you hung up.
That's exactly right.
But I noticed there's a lot of, we're at a very paranoid time in society with the Snowden stuff, all the NSA snooping. You guys sort of hint at the Monsanto stuff. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word, but was that really the impetus for you to do the show? Because it seems like we're in a time where...
It's a perfect time to be telling X-Files stories, so that's one of the reasons that I was excited about doing it, and it gave us a lot of, stuff to write about.
And David and Mitch, how was it getting to play Mulder and Skinner again? Don't look at me like that. I can't handle this. I'm hanging on by a thread. You have no idea what this is. Okay, I want to say this sentence because I never thought I'd say it. Hi, my name is Kumail Nanjiani, and I'm talking to Chris Carter, Mitch Pileggi, and David Duchovny. All right, great. Got that. Hopefully somebody recorded that. So how was it? Don't look at me. It's very difficult. So how was it? How was it playing these guys again?
Well, just the fact that Jillian and Chris and Mitch were there, kind of we all kind of have a group memory, I think is what happens. When we get together, we can all kind of check in with one another, but not even with words. It's more instinctive at this point, and we can kind of feel when it's Mulder's right, or when Scully's right, or when Mitch is right. You know, it just feels right. And so I can't really put words around it. It's more of a
It
feeling.
felt-
It's a feeling. It's
It
really.
felt,
it's
I
like
think
a
you just
feeling.
said it. It felt right. It just felt right.
I always think of your relationship as like Skinner, you're like his strict father. You're like the guy like, I know you can do better, you know. He's not the
And
guy
get out
that's
there
really,
and do it.
yeah, he's not gonna hug you or kiss you, but you know he's there.
He never once told me he loved me.
And this character, Mitch,
I love you, David.
Okay.
don't say I love you, Mulder, and do it in a Skinner voice.
God damn it, Mulder.
This character is so different because we just met today. I was a little scared to meet you because, you know, Skinner's a very intimidating character, but you're very different. How did you sort of create this character?
You know what? It's just I look at Chris's writing, and it just kind of just happened. It was you know, and I've said this before. The character very much is very very similar to my father, and I've watched my father at his work. He worked for the Department of Defense for years in the Middle East, and I watched him, and it just kind of his bearing and his demeanor just kind of seeped into what I was doing with Skinner. And I didn't really realize it until after my brothers and sisters and mom were watching the show, and after the first episode they saw me and they said, "That's Dad." And I was like, and then I looked at it and go, and it was my heart just like swelled, and I go, "This is Dad." And so it's like he gave me a wonderful character that I could you know that I could do that with. So. Yeah, very much, very much.
One of my absolute favorite scenes in this episode is,
Thought you were going to talk about your stuff.
what about my stuff? Yeah, guys, I've got a lot of projects going on. Let's spend some time. Yeah, that's right. Mitch, one of my favorite scenes in the pilot was the two of you guys together. Obviously, the scenes with Mulder and Scully are absolutely fantastic, but seeing you walk in with the pencils on the ceiling and seeing Mulder kick the poster, that's an iconic poster. We know sacrilege, and you know where he is at that point, and then you sort of have to motivate him. That scene brought tears to my eyes, and there's one line that is so badass, where you say, "Before we both get pissed off." Oh my God, chills went down my spine.
That was an improvised line. That was Mitch.
And I said to Chris, because I actually had one of my bosses, when I worked for the DOD in the Middle East too for a while, and I had a boss that I went off the rails one time with him, and he looked at me and he goes, "Just calm the hell down before we both get pissed off." Exactly what he wrote. And I said, when I saw the line, you know, just calm the hell down, Mulder. I asked Chris, I said, "Well, can I say this before we both get pissed off?" He said, "Yeah, it's great. Works perfect." So I've always wanted to use that, and he let me use it. It was great.
Chris, one thing I noticed is that in this episode, the scope of it is much bigger than sort of, you know, a sample episode from last season. We see huge alien aircrafts. We see a crash. We see the EBE. I'm going to throw out an OG word out there. I'm so sorry. I feel like such a nerd. I've embarrassed myself immensely. So we see a lot more. Was that a conscious effort on your part to sort of make the scope like more grand, more cinematic? I mean, there was always a cinematic show, but...
Yeah, I think as David, when before the episode we spoke and he said, "I think we got to come out and punch him in the mouth." I think that we knew we needed to make a statement, and we needed to be bold, and we needed to show more back.
And another thing that I wanted to discuss was, so this is what I was really struck by this episode was, Obviously for fans, it's wonderful and amazing, but also I think for someone who doesn't know the show that well, you did a really great job of bringing them in. Was that a conscious effort to sort of have it be good for noobs and more experienced fans?
That opening sequence, I didn't know if it was going to work or not, and so that it actually worked and that you're responding to it is kind of a miracle to me, because there's a lot of ground to cover in a very little time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember getting that opening sequence and reading it and loving it and calling Chris up and saying, I don't have to memorize that, do I? We're going to play that over stuff, aren't we?
Yeah, you could just read that from a piece of paper.
Yeah. VO is I love the word VO.
You guys had a lot of big speeches, you and Joel McHale.
Yeah.
By the way, do you guys hint a little bit that maybe Tad's character is into Dana a little bit? You're going to get Joel shivved by a bounty hunter switchblade on the streets. No, don't cheer for that.
I didn't understand a word you just said. What you switchblade? What? What did you say?
The alien bounty hunter switchblade thing, remember? There's a needle.
Oh, God,
don't worry about it.
So much more than we do.
It's called The X-Files. You guys gotta watch it. It's really fucking good. Another thing I want to talk about real quick, Chris, was Mulder and Scully. You guys had to know that those words were going to come up. That Mulder and Scully don't seem to be involved in the same way that they have been in the past. Where would you say they are now?
This is where the sniper gets me.
I'll protect you.
Thank you. No, I mean, they're not living under the same roof, and that was a conscious thing, and we wanted to be true to the passage of time, so we're playing it in real time, and Mulder and Scully have had their... That's where we are.
And I think I really like that, because they're living their lives, and truly, Mulder's one of my favorite characters on TV, probably a chore to be in a relationship with. Come on, you know what I mean. You're like, hey, where are the Cheerios? I want the truth. Like, Jesus Christ. Take it down a notch. He's a very intense man. I feel like I have offended you, and I am begging for forgiveness.
No, I'm just enjoying.
So I think there is an area that people can go to right there. If you guys have any questions. I assume you don't, so let's just skip that. I'm joking. So there are people lined up. If you guys want to ask questions, line up. And let's start with them.
Hi, I'm Fiorella. I'm from Staten Island, New York.
Hi.
Hi. I'm super nervous, so if I start crying, I'm sorry.
Don't be. It's okay.
Oh, Mitch, stop. Oh, Jesus. You're so great at Supernatural, by the way.
Oh, thanks, sweetie.
Woo!
No, we do not talk about that right now.
So my question is for the whole panel. We love Mulder because he wants to find the truth, and we love Scully because she's always thinking and speculating about reasons why. So what do you truly want to believe, and what do you truly speculate in, like, Supernatural, not the movie, not the show, like in the actual world?
Who?
For everyone.
Oh, whether you guys are believers or not in
Right.
paranormal phenomena.
I'm a believer. I absolutely believe that there's extraterrestrial life.
I'm a believer.
All right, thank you for coming. That's the end of the panel.
I want to believe.
Woo! Thank you.
Hi. Can I talk? Sorry. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Laura. I live in New York. Oh my God, I can't talk right now. I live in New York, but I'm originally from Manila, Philippines, and I've been watching X-Files since I was in 5th grade. Why am I crying?
Oh, baby, it's okay.
And
Don't worry
sometimes
about it.
between seasons, it would take 3 years, and I stuck to it. And I've been a fan for, oh my God, for a long, long time. I have my own kid now, and he's going to watch it when he's 10, like me.
That's a very terrifying age to watch. Wait 2 more years.
he could watch it with the lights on. Anyway, oh my God. So I'm a huge fan. Thank you so much for bringing it back. I guess my question is, among a million things that are going through my head right now, is why are Scully and Mulder not together?
We just talked about it.
And don't you think they've earned it after 20 years to be together? That's for Chris Carter.
Thank God.
I was going under a bridge. We were doing some sound on the show, and on the bridge above us it says, life has many bumps in the road. I think Mulder and Scully have hit one of those.
But don't you think they're stronger than that?
I think you found another writer for the writer's room.
It's like a network note.
Yeah. I like that they're not together because it gives them some place to go. I think it's more challenging. If you just got always them together, that's not surprising. I think you want to see them struggle. That's what people want. If Mulder found the truth, that's the end of the show. And part of that, I think the truth is
Out there.
how does it go? All right, thank you.
Hi, my name is Jonah from Suffern, New York.
Hi.
First, I just gotta say, big fan of all you. Kamal, big fan of Silicon Valley. And you actually, about maybe like a few weeks ago, you were having a Twitter fight with Martin Starr about him being in the X-Files. And about Martin Starr being in the X-Files, and you had tweeted even me about that when I.
You had a Twitter fight?
Me? No.
And anyway, I just wanted to say that was cool. And what I was wondering was, doing the show, there must have been nostalgia for all of you, from watching it to doing it. I was wondering, really, when doing these 6 episodes, when did you have those really surreal moments of nostalgia?
I think for me it was really the first day. It was funny to watch the episode because the first day for me filming was that huge long speech I had with Tad O'Malley and Jillian and Sveta there in the towards the end, the scene I'm talking about, and it was chunky. It was chunky style, that speech. And I hadn't been Mulder in years, and we used to have this first AD named Barry Thomas, who was a big fan of the show as well as being our first AD. And I would have scenes where I did work on them and then eventually get them, and then we move on. But he would always talk about like Mulder flow. Yeah, that had Mulder flow. So I was searching for that Mulder flow, in that scene, and it wasn't feeling quite flowing enough. And then at one point it kind of did, and then it felt. That's when it felt.
Dude, you
nostalgic.
nailed it. It was good.
Oh,
It was
thank
really
you.
good.
I'm not.
No, I was going to lean over and tell you while we were watching it. Right after that, you creamed
Well,
it.
you should have leaned over.
Well, I was.
Thank you, though.
You take things wrong sometimes.
Thank you for telling me in private like this.
I had this surreal moment. I don't want to out you, Mitch, but I watched this episode in front of these guys. I was sitting in front of, they were behind, and when it came up, it said Mitch Pileggi, or it came up, your badge came up, and everyone cheered. I looked back at you, and you just mouthed to yourself. You said, "Wow." It was such a sweet moment. By the way, I gotta say, I really like the new character, Tad O'Malley, because it's like a guy, Mulder sees him and is like, boy, this guy's paranoid. I like that we have that now.
Yeah.
Mitch, how was it for you reprising it? Was there a point where you were like, oh my God, I'm doing the X-Files again?
Well, yeah, the first
Again.
episode that I ever did a long time ago was I had that feeling that I was doing the X-Files. It was pretty amazing.
You were a fan of the show.
I was, before, Chris I kept going in and auditioning. He wouldn't hire me, so I eventually,
It's true.
thank God he didn't hire me.
It's true.
Yeah, I auditioned for it twice before, and my head was shaved back then, and he didn't hire me because it was too extreme for the X-Files. But thank God he didn't hire me, because then I wouldn't have been able to come back in and read for Skinner. But you know what? Just putting the suit on, because I don't dress like that all the time. So
Right.
So putting the suit on and the glasses and just, you know, and then looking at this guy's face and right? It was, you know, and reading, you know, Chris's words, it was awesome, as always.
How was it, what was your first impression of meeting David? Was he nice or was he
When
like...
I first met him,
Yeah, David and Jillian.
I said, he's not that good looking. What's the deal? I thought, what a prince. And Jillian, the first scene that I had with her was in my office. I was sitting behind my desk, yes, David. And David made a joke in Pittsburgh that he didn't know that I had legs.
Yeah,
But it was with Jillian, and this tiny little thing comes in, and it's like, she just like, all of a sudden, she's this keg of dynamite. I was impressed. I thought, wow, that's a lot coming out of that little girl. And, yeah, so it was pretty cool.
And since then we found out that Skinner does have legs and he uses them to kick ass.
Hi, I'm Max from Jersey, and I've been watching
Max from
X-Files since I was a kid. I was basically raised on it. And a couple of years ago, IDW started the X-Files season 10, so I was like, oh, cool, X-Files is back. And then now you're actually doing season 10. So again, I was like, oh, cool, X-Files is back. And I was just wondering
I like how you sounded less excited for the TV show than for the comic book.
I'm a comic nerd, so I was wondering how you like word it, because now they're on season 11 in the comics while you guys are on season 10. I was wondering continuity-wise if you're sketchy on a few things.
You know, we talked to the comic guys and we told them what we were doing, and that's obviously operating separately from us. So I have to say Joe Harris is doing a great job with those comic books. So the TV show and the comic books, we know what each other's doing. That doesn't mean we're doing the same thing.
How old are you?
17.
See, this is what I love. This is what is so great, that we have not only held our fans for so many years, but we got new generations of fans that are just, it's just like so amazing. That says so much about this show.
Thank you.
We have time for one last question.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
What if we talk really fast? Okay, you're right. Wait, what's next? Is it more important than the X-Files? I'm making a judgment call. I can't. Sorry. Go ahead.
Hi. Not to bring back up Supernatural, but
This is the last question.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, let's talk about the
No, no, no,
X-Files.
no.
I love you, dude, but... Okay.
All right. So Monday episode. Do you all remember it? At the bank. Monday.
Is this Bill Hader? It sounds
Yes.
like Bill Hader to me. I can't see him. Where is he?
Supernatural followed it with a Tuesday episode. Just want to let you guys know that.
thank
Also,
you.
Bad Blood, not Taylor Swift. Shh. Bad Blood, the episode about the vampires, telling the stories over and over again.
Yes.
The not hot sheriff.
Ramashan.
Yes.
Yeah. Rashomon.
Do you remember if you... All right.
Well,
Is that
ask the
sounds like,
question.
yeah.
Hey, you're bugging me.
Yeah. Were you handed, when you filmed that episode and the scene that you're in the hotel room, do you remember being handed that piece of chair? Because in the episode, you see the person's hand come off screen into the screen with a piece of chair.
Are you actually
We're
Deadpool?
talking about Monday?
I didn't understand anything you said from the moment you started. I really don't know what you're talking about. Let's get another
But
question.
you look great.
So we can end on
Yeah.
a question. Get another question.
I don't know. I can follow that up. That was pretty epic. But
All right, dude.
One more question.
Let's do one more question,
I'm
guys.
Chris. I'm from New York. Chris is an awesome name, by the way. Honestly, I forgot my question, but I guess are you gonna be concentrating mostly on mythology through this new series?
Oh,
or
that's
do you
a good- that's a very good question.
Do you think you'll do?
Good question.
some of the best episodes were like just, I mean, the black and white episode with the mutants in the house. I mean, that was classic.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is this. We start with a mythology episode, and then we're going to do standalone episodes for the next 4. The second part of this episode, it's a 2-parter, so we'll bookend it with mythology. 1 and 6 are mythology. There are 4 episodes that run between, which are standalone episodes, including episodes by Glenn Morgan, Darren Morgan, and James Wong.
And in one of those episodes, you will see my hand reach off camera. I will grab a piece of a chair, and I will bring it on.
Yeah, yeah, so.
Oh, gunman. They want to know about the lone gunman.
Oh, the lone gunman. The lone gunmen are back.
All right. Well, is that it? Are we out of time? Can we do one more?
What about Robert Patrick? Daggett, are you coming back too?
They're asking, I guess the question that everyone's yelling is are you going to do more? Would you want to do more of these sort of short runs, or?
Chris has the lion's share of the work, really. I mean, Jillian and I, and Mitch, we work hard, but Chris really has to. He's so, that it's a bigger commitment, bigger time commitment. So I'm really kind of putting you on the spot here, aren't I? I'm just really I'm grateful to all you guys and to Chris for making it possible for us to come back and play these characters again. And if it so happens that there's an appetite for more, and Chris can, as he has me say it in the show, you have my number.
Also, I think this is the episode where we first see a text from Skinner, right? That's the first time we've seen a text on the X-Files.
It's true.
I want to say,
What does the text say?
What's it say? What did the text?
I want to say, as
You
someone.
would think that Skinner would have like his caller ID blocked, don't you?
Oh, he's got a second phone. He's got a
I know.
burner.
Oh, he does. He's got a second
Yeah,
phone.
that's where Cigarette Smoking Man calls him. With his
Does
new.
it say CSM when I get a call from?
Yeah.
It says Cancer Man, maybe.
Cancer Man.
Which one
And,
is it?
and a little picture of him.
Yeah, with his little Phantom of the Opera face now. He's got a new. I want to say, I think I speak for a lot of people here. I grew up watching the show, and my favorite show of all time, and it's so exciting and wonderful. You guys are doing more, taking them to new places, telling new stories. Absolutely fantastic. And before we go, I want to take. Can we do one selfie with everyone in the background?
Sure.
Is that okay with you guys?
Alien Squad.
Ready, guys? Everyone say cheese. Thank you, guys.
I'm here with Agent